Hello, this is the DIY Magician, and we're here with a weekend afternoon project. This doesn't even take the whole weekend, it just takes an afternoon. Even an hour would be enough. We're going to make framed artwork using board games. That's right, you have old board games, you want to get rid of the board games, you've got missing pieces, but you want to keep the memory. This is how you do it. Hang on right there, and I'll tell you how it's done. So here are the supplies you're going to need to do your project. First off, you're going to need some picture frames. This one here is a picture frame purchased at Disneyland. That's one there. But I like to use picture frames that are recycled, I guess would be the best way to put it. Ones that you might have laying around the house. Something that you get from a thrift store or even like a garage sale, that type of thing. Right here, okay. Those are the smaller ones, and then you can have the larger frames like this. Make sure that it's got a good piece of glass there. You can actually even use the old classic metal frames where it's a sandwiched in and it just slides in the back. You can do that. But you're going to find mostly that you're going to get ones like this where you have an existing picture in, okay? So you're going to need a picture frame for that. We'll go on to that in a second. In addition to the picture frame, the most important part is you're going to need the old game box, okay? This is a Yahtzee box here. You can use this one, sequence, anything with an interesting picture or a phrase. I've got some from the Cranium line of products there. We've got Sorry. Let's see what else we've got. Boggle Jr. Anyway, so you need the box itself, whatever your favorite game is. And then, of course, you're going to need a pencil and some scissors. And that's pretty much it. We can do it all with that. So hang on right there. Actually, you know what? I will say one more thing. You might want to use a screwdriver, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. Anyways, hang on tight, and we'll do the project. All right, now that you have your supplies, this is how it works. Very easy to do. You find your game board like this. This one is a Candyland game. I have actually used the top, and I'll show you that in a little bit, to make some other artwork. We'll have it as well. But the thing is, you want to check out your frame as well. So we're going to use this frame here, and we're going to actually use this section right here as the artwork. We don't need to use the whole thing. We just need to get a taste of what it is, okay? One of the nice things is you have this little guy here, he's the Candyland character, and then you have the actual word Candyland inside. You want to try and keep a name or a really distinctive character in your artwork when you're doing it, okay? Now, I mentioned earlier that you might want to use a screwdriver to undo the frames. This particular frame, I'm not going to have to do that. But normally you'd have those little metal clips, get a screwdriver in there and just kind of pry them up. Then you can remove the material from the back, okay? So here's what you're going to do. You're going to remove the material from the back. That's the little backer board. You're also going to remove the sandwich material and the glass. Now, this is the part that you want to do ahead of time. When you're making these, you want to clean the glass both sides. We're not going to do that for this one just because we're working on it as a project. But normally you'd want to clean the glass. Now, set your frame aside. The glass is probably the most important part right now. Okay? Keep that careful. Now, what you're going to want to do is just kind of break these little seams here because you want to lay this box top or box bottom flat on your work area. Now, if you're doing it at home, you might want to have some sort of a mat down. I'm using a sewing mat. That way, if you're using an X-Acto knife or something like that, you can actually cut right on the mat and not damage your work surface below. But what you're going to do is you're going to take the piece of glass, you're going to lay it over the area that you want to have in the picture, okay? So now if you want to, what I would try and do is keep as much of the character as possible. You might want to center his face in the frame, but you also want to keep the gloves in there. You want to have a representation of both hands holding on to the board. But keep in mind that whenever you our framing with the glass, there's going to be a little extra part that is concealed with the actual frame itself. That's okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay it down on top. I've got most of the glove. I've got him in the frame. You're going to use the piece of glass as the tracing border. So you just get a little pencil or a pen, and you're going to mark along the outside. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm using the outside edge of the box as part of the frame as well. So I don't have to worry about that. I know that the top edge is going to be the box line itself. Okay. So you want to get a good line right there. All right. And then you're ready to go. Set your glass aside, and if you notice right now, there's a good outline border. Okay. Now the easiest part, you take your scissors and you cut along the outside edge, just like this, trimming off all of the unwanted portion. Okay. Now you want to make sure if you were to try and keep this phrase here, you could actually use another frame and keep the phrase. I've actually been able to get several pieces out of the same box. So if you want to, you can actually do a collection of images. Okay, so we've got that, and we're just halfway there. Okay, follow along. Now you want to cut on the inside edge, making sure that you have room, because otherwise you're going to have to go back and trim just a little bit so it'll fit inside the picture frame. But remember, the glass usually is designed to float a bit, so might not be too critical on most frames. Okay, so there we go. We've cut out the image. Okay, set the box aside. You're going to take your picture frame, you're going to slide the image inside. Okay, just like this. Okay, like that. To make sure it tests fine, then you put the glass in after you cleaned it. Put the glass in, put the image in. Now you might not need the sandwich material, but I'm going to put it in anyway. It's corrugated cardboard, so it should do pretty well. You want to line up where it's going to be sitting, so that you have the little back part in there like that. Okay, and then that goes right in here like this. Okay. And then you sandwich it together, and it's a little tight squeeze because we've got a good piece of cardboard in there, and the laminate, the actual box itself. So you might not want to do that, but that's okay. You'll figure it out as you need be. And then when you're done, you've got a very nice picture of the memory that you held as a child with the box itself. So there it is, your weekend project. Now hang on right here, and I'll actually show you a collection of others that I've done before. So hang on right there. Now that we've finished the project, let me show you a couple examples of some of the other boxes I've done before. Again, this is the one we did today. This is the Candyland box. This was from the back. This is a one that I really like. It's a nice frame, not too nice, but you get the idea. But it's Pokino. So this is a game that you might have in your game room. Okay, so that's Pokino. This is an older game. The box was actually in pretty bad shape. There's some marking and this and that on it. But I thought this had a lot of interesting images. So this game is called Pit. Okay, so in addition to that, we have a classic here. We have Yahtzee. That's a good one to work with. A lot of image there. Now this is from the front of the box. This is the game here, Candyland. This is the cartoon character there, and in addition to that, I have the actual Candyland name and image, and I was actually able to get the little princess as she ran through the game. So these are some of the examples that you can do, the different frames. You don't need to do anything fancy, just something where you can hang it on the wall and have some fun with it. Anyways, hang on right there, and we'll get you some more information. So now you've done it. You've taken an old, worn-out board game, the box, all the different things like that, and you've made a piece of art that you can hang on the wall for the children for memories for later on in life. It's a lot of fun. So don't throw it away. Reuse it. That's right. Recycled board game artwork, and it just takes an hour or so in the afternoon. Again, this is the DIY Magician. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video from the DIY Magician, you also might enjoy joining our Facebook group. That's right, the DIY Magician Facebook group. Or you can visit our artist page. That's right, the DIY Magician artist page on Facebook. Or if you want to, please subscribe to YouTube videos and you'll see all the up-to-date videos as they come along. Thank you again for watching the DIY Magician video.